I always want to not forget the elementary students. So I've been working this summer with the challenge that we did to try to find ways to engage elementary students to maybe study a little bit longer or find the content a little bit more interesting than just the teacher talking and showing a lot of static pictures. So we do a lot of social studies and geography work with the elementary kids that sometimes they would say was a little boring, maybe the old-fashioned way. So ThingLink is perfect for engaging the elementary students. I made the background in PowerPoint. I just found a forest picture that I liked, and I asked the teachers for several animals that they would have highlighted, and I found pictures and I layered them, and then I used that as my background for ThingLink. So it's great to customize it to fit what you would have normally talked about in the old-fashioned way of just talking about the forest habitat. So you can see that I've used a variety of different labels. I used the I for information, and that'll take you to a site that they can get lots of content, just full academic website for the forest habitat. But then I also added just labeling. I love that you don't always have to have something that goes somewhere else. Sometimes you just want to make, some points, so I've got some facts. And sometimes I'll add, just some other things that would have been on the old worksheet that they would have filled out, or another website maybe that really goes into detail about the deer, because that was one they spent a lot of time on. But then what's great is you have all these fancy new audio tools out there that I love to play with, and Audio Boo works on the iPad and on the laptops, which is great. So no matter what, we're not a one-on-one district. We share, and everything is a shared cart model. So we have to find things that it doesn't matter if 10 students are on one device or 10 are on the other. And AudioBoo is great. So all of the red tabs are an actual AudioBoo file, and sometimes they take a minute to load. And I don't think you can hear it, but if I open it up, it'll open its own tab, and AudioBoo lets you put the picture so you see what the cicada looks like again. If you had the audio, you would hear the cicada buzzing. So that is a real-life example to an 8-year-old. They think that's cool, and they will spend lots more time clicking around than they would normally. And then I have video files that I've found, some really neat video files this year when we were playing this summer. The owls were some of my favorites. It goes through all of the different types of owls and all of the screeches and the sounds that they make. And the kids will do this at home usually, or in a center. It'll either be an enhancement thing they do at night, or they will do it in a center when they rotate in class. And so this one is about 3 minutes long, but it goes through 4 or 5 different types of owls. And you get the picture, you get the sound, and nobody wants to go to the bathroom, nobody pokes their neighbor, nobody wants to get up. They are all engaged through the whole time that they're clicking around on our ThingLinks. And then I loved that I could find online what the forest sounds like during the day and what the forest sounds like at night. And we started with that one, and I said, close your eyes, click the sound button, and they're hearing what the forest sounds like, which was very cool. And then they started talking about once when they went hiking in the forest, or maybe something they did on vacation. So it gets them thinking of things from their own life that were relevant to the unit, and then everything becomes, real to them. It's not just something the teacher's talking about. This was crazy. This is a 10-minute video that somebody has set up a webcam on the raccoon out in its own habitat. And the kids did this from home, but this thing comes around, it eats, you can see the whole family of raccoons will come in and out of the picture, which is really funny. So the kids really, that means more to them than you just talking or showing a picture of the raccoon. They seem to really like it. And the other thing I like to add whenever I can is maps. So when we were talking about the brown bear, I added an informational brown bear, but then I also added the habitat map, because we would have talked about that anyway, where they live. And then they're learning about maps, and so they learn how to read the key to the map, and it shows just, we were talking about black bears, so they're looking for the gray. So they're getting map skills, they're actually hearing the sounds, they know what they look like. And what's fun is that the kids start to talk about when we went to the forest, when we saw, everything is first person, and it's almost like they made a memory of the forest habitat instead of just saying, we read about it or whatever. They start to talk in a completely different person. And I've got the wolf sound, so you can see how there's just all kinds of audio things that you can embed. And the kids, yeah, like I said, they never want to get up, they don't want to go. The behavior is better when we've got something like this on the big classroom projector. And I always like to throw in a couple fun games. So I have a Kratz Creature Forest game, and I have a Habitat game. And I always put those in because they have to have learned a little bit about the habitats, to win the game. And kids are all about things that click and make noise and anything that's a game. But they have to sort the animals to where they're supposed to live. So those are always really popular. And if we post these on, say, a Friday before we start the unit for Habitat, the kids will come to the lecture the first day with all this prior knowledge, that they didn't even feel like they were studying. It's more of just a fun, but they're doing all the investigating and clicking around themselves, so it's kind of putting them in charge of their learning. So that's my thing, Link.